Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to Divine Debut, and welcome to the Yes Please Wednesday, which is the Twin Flame Soulmate, important connection, godly connection, divine connection. Whoever it is that you are thinking about or concerned about, maybe they've been in communication. Some people may have not had any communication at all. Okay, so this reading is all about that. Today I'm actually going to do a Lenormand, a Grand Lenormand spread. Grand Tableau, it's called. Okay, and I'm using this deck, which is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand Ciro Marchetti's. It's the expanded edition, but I've taken out the extra cards. Okay, there's two couples in this deck, and I'm using the couples, the divine feminine and masculine, that are more fire-driven, passionate, fire signs. If they may not be fire signs, you may not be a fire sign, but because of the energies with so much Aries in the sky, so much of the Aries archetype right now, and new beginnings, new cycles beginning, I've taken out the more earth, water signs. But remember, we've all got fire somewhere in our chart, so it's just the way the energies speak to us at a certain time, and that's how we come through. So today I'm using that couple, and yeah, it's the Yes Please day today, my dear friends. So you can write Yes Please, comment Yes Please beneath the video, not in the chat section, so that we could take a personalized message of love. These are my handwritten decks, okay? Their thoughts, their words maybe that have been spoken. And I always say that I will take these towards the end of the reading. If you receive the same message as in today's reading, it's especially important for you. So pay attention. I'm doing the Grand Tableau today. I feel called to do that, and I haven't done one for you for a little while. And those of you that are interested, of course, it's on my website. You can get the links all beneath the video. But remember that I am putting a hold on my personal readings unless you are on Patreon. So I don't know when I will resume personal readings. So remember to like, comment, share the video. Thank you so much. An exchange of energy is what it's all about. This is a general reading. You can take a lot away from it because we usually read the energies. We are all affected by the energies now. Some things may be a little bit different for you, but it's all about the energies. This is not a personal reading, so it may or may not resonate for all of you. So it's going to be a full reading. I'm going to set out the cards in quick motion so I don't waste your time, because the Grand Tableau has got a lot of information and it's a long reading. So get yourself a cup of coffee, tea, or a glass of wine and enjoy the ride. Today is the 24th of May of 2022, my dear friends. The moon is transiting through Pisces, and Pisces is very sensitive, very loving, very compassionate, but can also be illusion. I hope that we are not wearing those rose-colored glasses ourselves. Once I'm done with the Grand Tableau, I will also I'll be taking some Mystic Moon oracles, okay, which shows the darker shade, the darker forces, and how they intertwine with your relationship, what is helping or hindering. We do have good cards here, but we've also got the shadow side, which helps us to see what's going on in this relationship. And I'll be taking a few more other cards. So I'm going to thank you in advance for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, potentially joining us on Patreon if you are interested. We do a lot of astrology there. And we do not only astrology, but we also do 3 free readings every month, okay? 3 free tarot readings every month. 3 lucky winners we've got every month. We've been doing this for months. So do consider joining us. All right, dear Spirit. Let's pause now so that I can shuffle and quickly set out the cards. Oh, cool. That is just lovely. That is just lovely. Okay, I do see quite a distance between you and this person. Energetically, you could also be at a physical distance. Why? Because the divine masculine is here connected to another female. Either that, or the snake could also, because the snake is next to the ring, and the ring, my dear friends, is, it could be a cycle. The snake could also speak to a sexual connection, more of an intimate connection for some of you. And the female is up here. So as I always say with my, Grand Tableau, it's very important to look at the corners. Okay, so the first card that we start off with is the ship, which is a beautiful card, right? And the last, we could say the last card is here. It's the rider, as you could see right down the bottom here. These last four cards. So we've got the mice, we've got the fish, and the fish is in its own position, which is amazing. We've got the clover and the new cycle that begins, the ace. Okay, so we could say this is the last card, but looking at the four corners, we've got the ship, the love card, the heart, we've got the anchor, and we've got the star. So these four corners are all, they're very positive cards, which I love to see. Now, we always look at where, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, where they're situated. So for the divine feminine, this is someone from your deep past. Okay, if this is not for you, if this is not someone that you've been dealing with for a long time, then maybe this is not your reading, unless this is a connection. As I always say, twin flame, soulmate, karmic, right? Could be anything. Soulmate is someone from a long time ago. But if this is like, even if it's a karmic or a twin flame, could be from a past lifetime. So lifetimes ago. And energetically, of course, you still feel this person. But we see that for the divine feminine, we see her in the future of this divine masculine, right? Now, she's she's above his head, above him, which means that she is in his future and on his mind. For her, he's in her past, and he's got to do with her stability, with anything that is below her would be at her feet. So something much more stable or more secure or more grounding. Maybe this divine masculine was someone that sort of grounded her, someone that grounds her, brings her down to earth. But we finish and we see that she's looking straight at the heart, right? Straight at the heart. Now, then what we look at is the four most important cards So the focal point is here. These 4 cards here, my dear friends. So we've got the key, we've got the home, we've got the lily, and we've got the clouds, okay? In this position here, these 2 cards here, this is the position of the man, and we've got a letter here. So it could speak to communication. And this would be the now, right? This would be the now. This would be more the past, and this is more the future. Now, which timeline, timing is very difficult to figure out. So it's not going to be the same for all of you, okay? You will know by the reading if this speaks to you or not. So in the Divine Masculine, we've got the letter or the contract, right? So there's either going to be communication or news, or these could also be divorce papers. Any sort of communication, anything written, spoken, anything to do with a letter. And the letter is Mercury in Gemini. So we do have Mercury retrograde as I'm doing this reading, and we are dealing with old matters, past relationships. In the Divine Feminine's position is the Mountain. And the Mountain is not an easy card. It can speak to a lot of karma. It can, if we're looking at this, even the letter. So the letter is more quick, very quick and very curious. It's Mercury in Gemini. So I don't know if you're dealing with someone that's very communicative at this time, but for the Divine Feminine with the Mountain, this is the Mars in Aries. So more courageous energy from the Divine Feminine. It is a 21, which to me speaks of the World card. So similarly to wanting to close up a major cycle or something that's been very difficult. The Mountain can speak to someone who lives in a mountainous area or not doing anything at this time. There's difficulties and there's problems and hurdles that she's still dealing with, the Divine Feminine. But and of course we do take into account the cards that are next to these cards. So for the Divine Feminine, let's say the Divine Feminine, we've got the Whip next to her, which can speak to divorce or just conflicts. We've also got the Tower here, so she doesn't have it easy moving forward. But, what I feel I need to say, because this is the now and she's in the future, it's as though she's got 1 foot in the future and 1 foot in the past. So she's wanting to move forward. But she's got some dealings with the past. I feel I need to say here. But she's got luck on her side. She's got the clover. She's connected with the clover. So let's just see what's around. What's around this Mountain for the Divine Feminine. So we've got the clouds here. The clouds which are in the position of the Mountain. So the Mountain is here. Logically, its position is here. But there's lots of challenges, but lots of a lack of clarity as well. In the now, just challenges about, trying to overcome some hurdles. Maybe get unstuck, because I feel as though she's stuck. There's a lot of things that are unknown that are connected with the Divine Feminine. Because we've also got the Book here. There's information, obviously, that's going to come through with the Book here. The Book is in the position of the Path. So at some point, and the Path is right here. So the energies are just sort of mingling and, getting tangled within each other. So lots of messages coming through. I'm going to be back and forth. So do be patient with me as there's a lot of information. So the Book here, which can speak to Neptune, right? Neptune can speak to a lack of clarity. We've got 2 cards of Neptune Piscean energy. But luckily here we see in this deck that there's 3 birds. The sun is breaking through. So those hurdles, the hurdles could, like we see communication or just clarity coming through pertaining to those difficulties and those challenges, but also matters to do with stormy weather, I'm going to say, pertaining to her life. A lack of clarity, maybe also, I don't know if this divine feminine is someone who loves unconditionally, could hold strong Piscean energy in her chart, or be dealing with someone that was just someone else who's got more Pisces in their chart, and they're very secretive. The book does speak to secrecy. It also speaks to knowledge. So I don't know if, this divine feminine is connected to learning or teaching or anything like that. Someone that brings enlightenment to others. Someone who's become a teacher from all their challenges. Someone who's gone through a lot of conflicts in their life. I mean, the whip, not an easy card, right? It speaks to debating, many oppositions or just arguments and conflicts. Could speak to legal issues as well. And the whip is in the position of the lily. And the lily obviously speaks to a past connection, but also ethics. So maybe this divine feminine is someone who's very ethical and therefore challenged. She's very compassionate, trying to do the right thing, but also always seems to have blockages and limitations. It's like she's going through some sort of a test. I don't know if she's going through some sort of a divorce, because, I mean, on the same level here, with her position, we do have the anchor, which can speak to grounding, but it can also speak to something stable or a marriage. And we've got the moon here, which the moon can also speak to a home. So I don't know if she's going through possibly also some divorce or separation, because we see the birds here. I mean, the storks, they're all about transition and change. So information that's going to come in, because the stork is in the position of the book. So information that's coming through, or that's come through, or there's some sort of a transition and change, potential change of a residence, of a home, of a marriage. And we also see the ring connected to the stork. So some sort of a marriage, a commitment, or a cycle where there's possibly change on the horizon, even though, and I'm going to say because of the tower here, the tower is in the position of the sun. So the sun, we know, is heart, it's childlike energy. It does speak to success and power and victory. But the tower is about the red tape or certain timing. So it can speak to solitude, yes, but also someone needing to be like a tower, being strong. I mean, the tower is Saturn in Capricorn, so it speaks to delays. And if we, look at these cards here, I mean, even the divine feminine is up there. So she is connected, obviously, to the tower here. She is connected here also to the divorce papers or communication or contracts, right? We can also look at it this way, that there are blockages here. She's dealing with a karmic situation, right? But anyway, we do end up with a star here, which is in the position of the moon. So maybe the moon does speak to emotions. It speaks to the home, the mother. She could be a mother, yes. Some of you could be mothers. I mean, the storks bring the child, right? So connected to children as well. Or a yearning for stability, or a yearning for something stable and more secure. But, I mean, we've got the snake here as well. We've got the snake here, which the snake speaks to, changes, obviously. It speaks to desires and seduction and forbidden, anything that is forbidden, right? The poisonous apple, the serpent, and Eve in the Garden of Eden. So many times could be another female, but it could also speak to a very strong sexual connection. I mean, the snake also, remember, snakes are very protective of their eggs, right? They protect them just like a mother protects her cubs. And so there's like a sense of protection. I don't know, it's connected with this divine masculine, which is next to a child. So I don't know if this is this could be, for the divine masculine, my dear friends, could be another relationship, and it's connected to a child here as well, and the ring and the stalks. So there are many, many layers in the tarot. So I do see here that there is a third person. Or something karmic, I'm going to say. I mean, the snake is in the position of the dog, which speaks to friendships or loyalties, or I mean, the snake can speak to an enemy as well. A friend of mine used to say snakes are friends. So sometimes friends can be snakes, but someone who's sort of very sneaky and very underground. Let's look at the divine masculine for a moment, and we've got the child, which could be something new, could be an actual child, but it's also in the position of the bouquet. So Jupiter and Sagittarius. The bouquet can speak to flattery, it can speak to romance. So it can also speak to dating. So I don't know if this divine masculine, because he is, and it's showing Mars. We've got Mars on his chest. Mars is very much about desire, sex, and intimacy. You know, intimacy does bring the children. I mean, the stalks are here, the child is here. So maybe this speaks of some sort of a connection here, because we start off with a ship, and the ship speaks to transition. It can speak also to some sort of a farewell or adventure or journey that's beginning. Right, so news coming in pertaining to a child. I don't know if this was an unexpected pregnancy, because we've got the child, the ring, and the anchor here, which the anchor can speak to someone being anchored, and the anchor is also in the position of the ring, and the ring is in the position of the stalk. So they're all connected, interconnected here, which has brought changes. So on another level, and I don't know if this is someone from your past who you were very attracted to. This was something very new to you, obviously, this relationship. Some of you may have felt really lucky. You may also have had some sort of a foundation of friendship, because the dog can speak to friendship, loyalty, fun, right? And the dog is in the position of the clover, which speaks to luck. So through play, luck came. Now, was it lucky? Was it unlucky for others of you? Because I see here that there's sort of playful energies, and there's also loyalty. So the divine masculine is connected to loyalty and the child, but also to a snake, which could have been someone that was in competition for you. Some of you may have had a breakup because of a marriage, maybe also a sudden marriage, because of a childbirth. We see changes and transition. We see that the yearning of a new home, or some sort of stability and security can also speak to financial, right? Could have come through a child, a new home, let's say, and possibly with a foreigner for this divine masculine. So I'm just wondering if there wasn't, so there was, for some of you as well, you felt really lucky or really connected to this person. You felt childlike. You felt like there was play here. I mean, you enjoyed being with this person, and I feel as though the enjoyment was not only an intimate one, but also feeling as though you were sharing your time with a friend. And remember that the serpent is very sneaky. So it's also hidden matters. So maybe it's something that was not shared with you by the divine masculine. We see the divine masculine connected to the garden here, which is in the position of the whip, and the whip does speak to challenges, of course, something sudden, and the scythe is also here, which is in the position of the ship. So the transition was a breakup. Now the scythe, the ship can also speak to physical distance, not only physical but emotional. And the conflict, because of the scythe, the whip here, maybe this is saying that this person was conflicted, but outside in their social life, they did not show that. Maybe this is also someone that's very well known in their community with a garden here. And this divine masculine is also connected to the tree, which is in the position of the tower. Both the tree and the tower, they're Saturn and Capricorn. Okay, the tree can also speak to emotional, emotional well-being, or the opposite, because we also see that the snake is connected to the tree. So any changes or karma that this divine masculine was dealing with had got to do with family, with maybe that this is someone that was very traditional. The tree also speaks to a past connection, a long-term connection as well, but also family, someone's roots. So someone that's quite traditional or comes from a family that is well known in their community. And also this enemy or this other woman stepping into traditional marriage or into a family that's, that holds great success. I mean, the tree is, for me, Saturn in Capricorn is like, Saturn in Capricorn, right? The tree, it's like building on something long term. So I don't know if this also connects to something that's been built forever, or because in the connection with the serpent here, it is connected to family. So I don't know what the connection is. It could be through extended family. But remember, the tree is also a number 5, which is the Hierophant, and it speaks to marriage. And we've also got the moon here in the position of the letter, and the letter can speak to news or contracts, a new contract for a home, or secrecy as well. Secrecy. So transitioning into a new home, a new situation where, and it's connected to the mice, dear friends. And the mice can be some sort of a decrease or disease or other people, or feeling a sense of loss, emotional loss. Could also be financial loss because of a mother. I mean, the moon can be a mother as well. I don't know if it's the mother of this divine masculine or it's the mother of this divine masculine's child. And there's obviously other people involved here with the mice. Third parties here, which doesn't have to be a love triangle for all of you, but it can be that, I don't know if there's been some financial loss and there was financial promise here as well. I get, what I get here, the mice, is like someone being salvaged. So someone who wasn't in a good way financially is being provided for by others. It's like sort of taking in a stray pet. It can also speak to emotional hardship, right? Because it's on the moon and the mice. Emotional and financial hardships here. But also remember, because the moon is very secretive and it is connected to the divine masculine, the moon speaks to a deep connection. So the emotional hardship could be that this divine masculine went into a karmic situation or karmic contract or marriage because of a child or because of forces that were not in, for their well-being, but more so a karmic situation that they needed. It was like karma. Karma is like something that you do, it sort of comes back and you need to pay for it. A karmic payback, let's say. So even though, a karmic payback can be sort of like some sort of a lesson, right? But then it's all about ethics and doing the right thing. And I feel that with the dog on top of the head of the divine masculine, this person is loyal to this child, I feel. Maybe also connected to the family that they have built. But we see the contracts here, we see the mice here, and we see a sudden breakup. Now, I don't know if this is, because this could be a mirroring image of what was going on for you. Now, the child doesn't have to be an actual child. It could just be the novelty of this new connection. Some of you connecting with this divine masculine, right? Feeling like a child, very happy, feeling as though this is someone you'd want to commit to, hoping that there would be a long-term relationship here and that there would be a change from the negativity. It's like sort of letting go of the snake. The snake is letting go of anything that's forbidden or something that happened by chance or some sort of a testing times, maybe also for you. And of course the serpent can speak to wisdom as well, right? Wisdom and craving, but the craving is something forbidden. So I don't know who is the ethical one here. I mean, we've got the lilies above the divine masculine, connected to the divine feminine as well. But the lilies are in the position of the garden. And the garden does speak to one's happiness, feeling as though you're in the Garden of Eden. But also this is a past connection. This is a pure connection. So a purifying, a connection that's going through purification, through lessons. I mean, a divine connection, we can also say here. And looking at the scythe up here, this break up, and remember the scythe, look at all the wheat here. It does speak to abundance. So sudden changes pertaining to manifestation and abundance and prosperity, right? As long as you close up a cycle or just run with it. So closing up a cycle from your past, let's say, transitioning. Remember, the scythe is in the position of the ship, and the ship does speak to farewells or just luck. Jupiter can speak to luck, expansion and growth, abundance, but also segregation and separation and law, matters of law, but also adventure and also wisdom. So there is a lot to do with wisdom, where we see the divine masculine has gone through a lot of learning, a lot of growth. Right next to the scythe is the death card in the position of the house. And the house does speak to someone's stability. Now, I don't know if this is connected to a physical death from someone in the family connected to this divine masculine, of course, which sort of, we've got the key here, and the key is a revelation. It's also an achievement or being liberated. So I don't know if this is through this could be a physical death, losing someone from the family, or it could be just the Scorpio energy. So metamorphosis going on in the life of this divine masculine, where they find, because remember the death card is sort of Pluto, it's quite deep and it's transformative. So sort of letting go of a certain era or chapter in this divine masculine's life, because we do see that we've got the snake. The snake is logically an enemy. It's not healthy. It's something that you need to excrete, let go of. And if we're looking at the nodes, we've got the South Node in Scorpio. So we're sort of letting go, shedding anything that was unhealthy or anything that was not meant to be on our path anymore. And we see, let's say, the tree that is flourishing and growing, connected to a past connection and a union, right? The lily, this is Chiron in Virgo, so an open wound pertaining to practical matters or a past connection, a divine connection, but also sexually inclined connection. And as I said, the lily is in the position of the garden. So, this lily, this connection, this past connection was all about happiness pertaining to the divine masculine, and connected with ethics. That's probably why, because we've got the clouds next to it. So from the divine masculine, which is the mountain, we see that the divine masculine, which is you, would rather do the integral thing, right? Do the integral thing, the right thing, even though it's been very difficult and a very steep climb. We do see the divine feminine connected to the sun, which is very much about what you see is what you get. Now the sun is Leo, of course, but the sun is also, it's very much about children and play and flirtation and clarity and all those things. But the sun is also the heart. It speaks to generosity, and it is connected to the divine feminine. And, the thing is that the divine feminine is in the position of the snake. So you see how it works, how I was connecting the dots with the divine feminine. Those of you that are a divine feminine, this would be you. Now, if this is your story and you're a divine masculine and you were connected with a divine feminine from your past, and this is your story, then you can change the sexes around, right? But we see that we've got Venus here, we've got Mars and Venus, the lovers of the zodiac. Even though, remember, the lovers of the zodiac, Venus was married to someone else, to Vulcan, and her lover was Mars. So, and yes, she's in the position of the snake. So she's all about planning and strategizing. She's very intelligent. She's patient. She knows when to strike. But also there are great desires. And this is Moon in Cancer, which Moon in Cancer speaks to nurturing, loving, being very motherly, and matters to do with the past. So a past sexual connection, which was matter connected to the heart. Now this is in the position of the fox. So again, there's intelligence here. The fox is Pluto in Scorpio, and it speaks to difficult timing. Now I don't know if this divine feminine is a mother as well and has gone through a lot of difficult timings, because she's got that motherly energy within her, where she's very nurturing and loving, and she's also very intelligent, I'm going to say, and very cautious as well. And we've got the fox right here. And the fox is looking back. So it's got to do with the past. The fox is connected to her. So she's very strategic to do with matters of heart, and also with child with her children. Maybe, I mean, the sun is all about the heart and, you know, abundance and generosity. So a lot of generosity of spirit, but also intelligence, I'm going to say. Now, the fox is in the position of the bear, and the bear is the mother. And the bear needs to be strong. She's very powerful, very much a leader. So I don't know if this divine feminine has got leadership qualities within her, but she knows when to act. And maybe she's needed to be very intelligent in her life and stand strong, stand very strong, right? She needed to be very strong emotionally. And also, I don't know if she's also connected to another person, another relationship, possibly someone that's quite sneaky. I mean, the fox is very much like the Seven of Swords. Now, you're going to tell me it's on the same level with the divine masculine. Possibly this divine masculine could have been sneaky as well, or just, you know, not sharing all the information. Or maybe also keeping details pertaining to, because Mars, the bear, the position of bear is someone that's in a position of power, whether it's in their family or in a business. And Leo is also very creative. This is the position of the fox as well. So creating a business of her own to keep her head above water. And here is the bear. Here is the bear in the position of the stars. So having that strength of character connected to this divine feminine, having that strength of character, and also maybe dealing with someone sneaky, or being able to see through the veil and know that there's strategy here and there's tact. So things that are unknown at some point will show up. I mean, the bear is in the position of the stars, and the bear does speak to strength. It speaks to a strength of character, being dominant. And of course, the bear and the fox are on the level of the divine masculine as well. So I suppose there could be connections with the divine masculine in these energies as well. The position of the star. The stars speak to hope and inspiration and optimism and progression towards goals. So taking leadership or being in charge after using tact and intelligence, coming from a place of heart, of course. Right, but also, you know, this could also speak to, because this is the near future, right? So the sun comes through with clarity. It's in the position of the fox. The fox is Pluto and Scorpio, and here we've got the sun. So things that were hidden will be shown. Any trickery, you know, anything that was hidden or unknown, anything that she was suspicious about, she will see. She will find out about. And she's also connected, of course, to the heart. But let's go back here, because we've got the birds. The birds are in the position of the tree. The birds speak to stress, anxiety, worry, other people, communication. So because this is the now position, and we've got the key here, the key is in the position of the birds, which means there is a revelation through communication, through social media. It's connected with the divine masculine. And here we've got the house. The house is in the position of the child. So the news that comes in, so the and it could also be connected to that lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Things to do with someone's house, something that has ended. It could be a marriage. It could be the ending of an ending. So coming to, once we finish with a certain cycle, we open up new cycles, right? So also having the ability to go deep and find a way to get out of any sort of bondage. Remember, Pluto is very powerful. But also this speaks to someone that's very secretive, right? It is connected to the divine masculine. I don't know if this is a Scorpio, someone who's got strong Scorpio in their chart, but going deep, you get the revelation pertaining to something new connected to a home. Is it a new home? Is this another chance at building a home? Now, there could be news that's coming in that's quite exciting because we've got the offer here. And, the bouquet breaks through the clouds. Things that were uncertain, right? Things that were uncertain. We've got the sun. The sun is connected to the clouds, right? The sun, and we see the birds here. We've got the birds up here and the birds here. So there's communication and clarity. Seeing things that were hidden. There's knowledge that could put you in a conflictual position about what this offer is about. This offer, this bouquet, which speaks to spring, of spring-like energies, flattery and happiness. It's Jupiter in Sagittarius, which can also speak to an offer. Let's date, let's meet up, let's whatever. Let's communicate clearly and clear the confusion in the clouds. And she's got to be smart. She's got to be smart, and she's at a juncture in the near future. The path is here. So if she is connected to someone that was quite tricky, some type of a trickster, and we can also say that she could also be connected to someone that was very, very sneaky, very someone who had a short circuit, very angry, short temper. The bear could be someone that's got a short temper. So she's very close also to the home, to a house, and to the sun, which the sun is sun in Leo. It speaks to success, power, victory, warmth, truth. So truth is coming through. But also remember, Leo is childlike energies and children, and it's on the same level with a child. So I don't know if she's in another marriage and she's got a choice to make, because maybe she's been connected to someone who kept her in solitude. The Tower is in the position of the sun, which says this solitude and this difficulty, because it's a number 19 as well. 19 is Leo, right? It's the sun. It's the number of the sun in the tarot. So clarity will come through at how to detach from anything that was unhealthy. Remember the bear. The bear speaks to obligations as well, but also responsibilities. A long-term commitment it could be as well. She's needing to stand strong and find a way to make the right choice. I mean, this is very challenging for her indeed, because the path is in the position of the mice. She feels as though time is running out. If she's needing to get out of another difficult situation with another relationship she's been sort of bearing across, love has not been easy for her. Look at this. We've got the book, the stairway, and the cross. Now the cross is in the position of the heart, and the cross is suffering. It's 2 to 3 weeks of heaviness. It does relate to her duties as a mother, as a provider, as a leader. So the cross can also speak to keeping the faith, that the choice that she's going to make, she's at a juncture, that the choice that she will make will potentially, because the choice, the path is in between the sun and the star, the two luminaries, needing to trust. And, the star is in the position of the moon. So the moon does speak to our subconscious intuition, our desires, our home, what we fantasized, what we wished for, what we prayed for and believed in. Just looking at the last column here, love. She's had to be very strong. She's had to take leadership. And that wish that she made upon a star, which was at a physical distance, she needed to stand strong and believe in that. And she needed to believe. She needed to sacrifice. Because the star is Neptune in Pisces. So it's all about surrendering, sacrificing. Even though there were lots of blockages, she needed to stand strong. Hold on to her wishes, what it was that she wished for. Kept the belief that her heart was leading her to a spiritual connection that was also very heartfelt. And that even though she didn't have all the information, and it was maybe a secretive connection, the star is here. There's optimism. There's the ability to move towards one's goals. Let's finish off with these 4 cards. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting, dear friends. Please write yes, please, beneath the video, not in the chat section, so that we could get back with to you with a personalized handwritten love message. Now, my darlings, you can look at this line here as the outcome, but you can always come back here and look at these cards as the conclusion. So if we're looking at the now, logically, with the mice here, it shows that there's been a lot of hardships, and the hardships are on for both people, I'm going to say. We've got the mice, we've got the fish, which is in its own position, so it's the most prominent card in the spread here. The fish does speak to repetitive situations, but it also speaks to finances, anything to do with values and business and gains, wealth and abundance. I always see the fish as Pisces as well. So we have had some blessings in the area of Pisces, with Jupiter transiting there, connecting with Venus and Neptune. So it's a time of taking off those rose-colored glasses and needing to see clearly. But it's also a time of possible abundance, contracts that will give you abundance. A new contract, communication, things will clear up, because through communication, we will have the clarity that there is a divine, a purifying energy here with the lilies, and a sense of camaraderie, because the fish, they swim in schools, like there's teamwork here. We've got, on top of the mountain, we've got the clover, and the clover is luck. It's a window of opportunity. It's happiness. It's something that doesn't last long, so you need to grab the chance, and this is more connected closer to the divine feminine. And then we've got the ace, the rider. So a brand new cycle that begins. News, lots of news. Mercury in retrograde. I should say Mercury in Gemini. Mercury will re-enter Gemini and move direct as of the 3rd of the month of June. But I would say that after the 14th, then it will be even more obvious that we'll have a lot of clarity, a lot of situations, choices will have been made, right? And there's a window of opportunity that opens up here for a brand new beginning, and this could also speak to travel. Remember, it's an ace. She is riding on a wave of good fortune with that, with the rainbow at her feet, right? So taking action, ready to go on that new journey, obviously. Let's see what the Karma Dharma is, dear friends. I'd love to hear your comments if you enjoy these readings and you want to see more of them. Now, it's going to be quite a long reading, so it's a bonus. I think it's best to sometimes to sort of split these readings in two and make them a little bit shorter, but the Grand Tableau it's a very deep reading. Let's see what the Karma Dharma is at this point between this divine union. And we've got Strength and Leo. And Leo, I don't know if it's talking about the time of Leo, which is not very far away. Believing in your own power, in your higher self, the ability to have the courage to be patient, but also to know that you are the one that's in control. This is also a card of generosity. Remember, Leo is matters of heart. So Leo is leadership. Let's see emotionally where we are. Someone ready to initiate. Remember, the sun is clarity, healing, warmth, flirtation, childlike energies, risk-taking as well. So, And I'm going to say also that with this divine masculine, if they find a way to end something that was not in their best interest, right? We see in front of them that there is, they're trying to be smart. I mean, trying to sort of sneak up towards this divine feminine. And we've got the heart here. And the heart is in the position of the death coffin, Pluto and Scorpio, which is forever. Forever is the timing on that. So I feel as though it's a transformation. Obviously, it's having gone really deep and sort of starting to build from the ground up for something that is long-term. And I'm going to say it looks like this divine feminine is very much about this relationship. She wants a forever. Forever yours, right? We've got a personal card that reads that. So and with the bear here, it looks like the divine masculine may initiate and take charge pertaining to matters of heart. Even though it's been a burden, they've had to keep the belief as well. Remember that for them, maybe that this is in the heart position. Maybe also for the divine masculine, love was a burden for them as well because of responsibilities or a mother or something like that. So let's see. Forever yours. Yes, I think that's a good title for the reading today. Let's see emotionally. Spirit, emotionally. What I'm thinking is I might take just a few more cards, but I might extend this because it's going way too long. I might extend it. I might take some cards on these positions from another deck, another Lenormand deck, just to give me more clarity on what's going on here. So those of you that are on Patreon on tier 1, you will get that because you're on Patreon. For others of you, I suppose we'll give you a link beneath the video and you can check that out. You can purchase that from my website. It's just going to be too long, so this is like a marathon sort of a reading. I think I will continue it and extend it to give you a little bit more information. But let's see now what's going on emotionally. Where are we? Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. So something is growing. You're very close to achieving your goals. That's a gibbous moon. Very close to a full moon. So that would be a completion, right? Something is building. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. That's beautiful. But for some of you, maybe this is going to happen after some sort of separation or divorce, if there is a third person in the picture, because we see the scales, and the scales Libra is all about harmony. So if there's been disharmony because of third parties, now not, it's not going to be a sexual connection with another woman. It could be family ties, it could be loyalties, it could be business, it could be anything. And I have spoken about a mother as well. New moon in Libra. New moon in Libra is going to be on the 25th of September. So you may begin this new romantic cycle then, or that just could be that someone is free then to pursue. And it brings up one of my cards again. I'm now free to pursue you, which came through in today's The Messenger is Here. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. And this full moon in Virgo was March 18th. So what was going on for you then? Someone was doubting their self-worth, feeling not good enough, not worthy enough. Self-worth issues. It's all about confidence now, my dear friends, and risk-taking. It's a new cycle where, Jupiter and Chiron and Venus and Mars in Aries is all about, taking that journey, the fool's journey, beginning again, if this is what you really want. Okay, I want to take a energy oracle, and I want to take 3 Mystic Moon oracles here. I might expand that again in the extended, we'll see. What is the advice pertaining to this divine union, dear Spirit? What is the advice? What do we need to know? What is the advice? The thinking man. So it looks like the divine masculine is still thinking. He's looking at something very closely. Aquarius does come up. This could be someone, an advisor as well. Let me just quickly read that. Number 46. So someone who uses their logic more than what their heart. Or could also be someone, a counselor or a legal person. So decisions. This card shows a man standing before an archway, gazing at a crystal in his hand. He's a thoughtful and reflective man, representing the potential presence of a teacher in your life now or about to arrive soon. This person may be there to educate you in the finer details of your chosen direction, or may be there to assist you in some specific spiritual, mental, or emotional pursuits. The card is telling you to pay attention, for this could lead to great strides in personal or professional growth. This man may also be a love interest coming your way, or perhaps just a new male friend, but be on the lookout for this guide in the physical world and be open to his information. Learn what you can, and your discipline, technique, course of study, or healing practice could change your life forever. Forever. That word came up again. This is a male of wisdom or understanding. So, all right. Let's take some Mystic Moon oracles, and then I will take some handwritten love messages and close it up here, but I will extend it with more Lenormand on these positions because I need more clarity on some of the cards. And I will also be taking the Island Time Wellness, maybe in the extended, and also with the fortune telling. So, fortune telling cards. Let's see what's going on. What is potentially happening? Recognition. Grief. Maybe there was recognition in the past, or maybe the divine feminine does not know that the divine masculine has recognized the importance of this connection. We'll see. Settling. Maybe there's recognition, but there's been settling and doing nothing. Sitting in the grief, or not being able to move. Because, I mean, the teddy bear reminds me of the bear, right? Childlike energies, or having children, or settling. Someone settling because of a child. Okay, let's see what's beneath. We've got stuck. We've got stuck because of certain situations here, obviously. Stuck is that Capricorn energy. Deception. Something that you don't know. And there is an offer, a dark offer. But we will extend these cards as well. Let's take some messages of love. And you know, the stuck card is very much Capricorn. Saturn in Capricorn. Remember that if Mars does not ingress into Aries and Saturn turn retrograde and Mercury turn direct, we still may be in those stuck energies. So after the 14th of June, surely, even after the 3rd of June, we'll have a lot of things that we'll be seeing that are changing. A lot more courageous moves will be made. I do apologize, but I'm married. I know I lied, but now you know. I got carried away. I didn't want to hurt you. It didn't mean a thing. 7 of Swords. And that's, you know, we've got the fox there. And it's, I don't know. It could be connected to either or both. Because we've got the fox underneath the divine feminine. We've got the snake beneath the divine masculine. So this could be a love triangle, all 4 people involved here. Both being in marriages. Your love touched my soul. If not marriages, they're just long-term situations. I've made space for you in my life. This is someone being single. I don't know if there's deception, and this is seen, therefore the separation happens. Right? Someone's made space in their life. No more conflicts. I'm now free to pursue you. Oh my God, dear friends. This is what I mentioned before, did I not? 6 of Swords. In today's, this card came through in today's reading. In the messenger is here. One more card. Please leave your comments beneath the video, and yes, please, if you are wanting a personalized handwritten message, thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing, dear friends. You could see how much effort goes into these readings. The exchange of energy is important. Thank you in advance. Our love affair still haunts me. 10 of Swords. Wow. So we've got a couple of 10s here. Remember, 10s are aces as well. So we've got air, we've got water, we've got earth. What we don't have is fire, which is not really logical because there's a lot of fire in the astrology. I feel that because there's so much air, it's got a lot to do with communication. Unless the communication clears and Mercury turns direct and we sever ties from anything that's keeping space, holding space, I should say, holding space and not making the space for the other person. It does say here that I've made space for you in my life. So we need to clear out anything that's dead, gone. 12, 13, 22, 28, 29, which equals 11. 11 is that open portal, my dear friends. 11 is also justice. So it's karma, but it's also everyone is receiving their justice for their deeds, right? All right. As I said, it's very hot in Greece now, and it's a time to start to turn on the aircon, but yeah. Anyway, many of you know and that are familiar with reading cards, it does sort of, you're not here when you're reading, and it's like calibrating. So you're on fire, you know, you start to through heavy connection and connection, when you go really, really deep, it does sort of heat you up. Anyway, sweethearts, I think I will leave it there. I'm going to pack these cards away, right? I'm going to put these to the side as I will take more of these. I'm putting these away and the handwritten love messages, right? And I will be taking more Lenormand. For those of you that this is your story and you need more clarity, then you can get the link beneath for the extended, all right? All right, I want to thank you all so much. Sending you lots of love and lots of light. And those who are going to the extended, I will see you there. We'll be doing this again sometime very soon. Your love and your support is what keeps this channel going. So thank you for your kindness, for your love and your support, my dear friends, in whatever you do. All right. Ta-da. And let's go on to the extended.